Our next factor covers psychological factors, and one of the most famous is, if I can find the button, motivation. And I'm not sure if you guys have learned about him, but Abraham Maslow is an American psychologist who developed these hierarchy of needs in the mid 1900s. So motivation definitely determines whether you're going to buy a product or what you will buy. So if you look at this triangle on the side right here, pointer, you would start here and then work your way up. So our most basic needs are our physiological needs, which is food, water, and sleep. We move up the pyramid as we move through life, and we look for a house, shelter from harm, maybe security. This is where we buy like cars. Um, we look for whether our medical insurance is covering us well. Then we move up the pyramid and we see social needs. Um, our loved ones, our partners, our friends, our family. This is where we look for acceptance by others. When you move up the pyramid again, your esteem needs. Needs, not needs. Esteem needs. This is where you look for the respect of others. Moving up in the company, for instance, you're moving from frontline worker to a more supervisor level, or maybe you're moving up to a management level. This is where that comes into play. Self-actualization needs. This is where you're realizing your full potential. You can only reach the top of this if you have met all of the bottom needs. And some people say that you go only one way on this pyramid, but that's not true. Sometimes you may go back and forth from each need. Maybe one day you lose your job, and then you need to find a way to provide for your safety needs. So then you would go back down to this level and look for a way to provide for your medical insurance or your home or a form of transportation with automobile insurance. That's how this goes. Don't just think that you start out at the bottom and that's where we hope to achieve. And many people have never achieved self-actualization. Many people are still striving to get there. But you don't just move straight to the top. Sometimes you may go back and forth into each of these moves. Moving on in the psychological factors. Another psychological factor is perception. Perception is how you interpret the world around you and make sense of it in your brain. And each of us have a different perception of the world. So you will not go out and buy exactly the same things or need to purchase exactly the same things that I do. I will not necessarily need what you guys look for to buy because I have my own perception as well. So that's basically what perception means. Another psychological factor is learning. Where did we gain the information from? How did we learn how to make our decisions on buying? We usually first learn it from our parents or those who raised us, our guardians, or whoever we've grown up with since we were little. So that's our basic and the beginning of our learning. And sometimes it usually puts a solid idea of what you would like to buy. For instance, the type of tortillas you go to purchase. It's not because sometimes it may be because you just decided to go buy it, but most of the time when we say, oh, I need to get this type of tortilla, I need to get this type of bread, I need to get this type of um, fruit or vegetable, it's because we've gone with our parents to the store and we've seen what they buy and we grew up eating that food or using that product. So usually that's the basis of how we make our how we eventually make our buying behavior in the future. Next, we have attitude. Um, if we see that business is not favorable to us, maybe it brings up negative emotions or negative feelings, we won't go back to purchase them. If you had the worst service at a restaurant and you were like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they treated me like that, you're not going to go back and give money to that venue or that business. You're going to look for other restaurants that possibly serve the same thing but will treat you better. So it's really important for us as marketers to provide the feeling that people want to come back. Another psychological factor is societal factors. Oh, we'll go into that. I'm sorry. I'm moving too fast. So, yes, we'll end this on attitude.